Welcome, everybody. It is another great winter webinar, and we are jumping into, and yes, it is winter, and it feels like winter outside pretty much wherever you are from. In fact, speaking of where you're from, I want to see not only your city and state down in the chat, which you guys have done such a good job. I want to know what your current outside temp is. Give me your city and state. And yes, if you're in Hotlanta, Ken, give us your temperature. I want to know what your outdoor temperature is on this Tuesday winter webinar. Let's see this. -11. Oh my gosh. All right. Even Arizona's in the 40s. Yeah, Detroit. It's about 7-8 degrees today here in Detroit. Cleveland's a little warmer at 17 degrees. I can't imagine what it's like in Minneapolis right now. I know we've got a lot of good Minneapolis friends on. Anyways, I'm Jeff Glover from Glover U, and we're here with the great Greg Erlanger. We're going to get to him in just a second. But before we do, all right, awesome. I see New Mexico in the house. Love it, love it, love it. Before we do, I want to make sure when you're commenting in the chat, change your status, or in the chat, it'll say to send the message to all hosts and panelists. Change it to everyone. All right, because a lot of you are messaging us, and we want people from everywhere to see where you're joining us from. So change your setting from all hosts and panelists to everyone. That way everyone can see where you're coming in with us today. All right, thank you for that. Okay, first things first. For those that aren't familiar, my name is Jeff Glover from Detroit, Michigan. Been listing and selling real estate now. This May will be my 21st year in the business. And of course, we created this little thing called Glover U several years ago to help agents from all brokerages, all companies, leaders, owners, broker owners. We've got, gosh, I don't know, probably 50, 60,000 people today that watch our stuff or listen to our podcasts. And we're so excited that you can join us today for a great session on 2023 social media strategies. And this is an important one because, you know, unlike the listing presentation where we only tweak one or two things every now and again, our social media strategies change drastically. For instance, there was a time when we were sharing, or at least experts out there were sharing, oh, you got to have a strong business page. You got to have a business page with A, B, and C in it. And it's got to have, you know, a strong set of reviews. And you got to be able to make sure you're doing Facebook lead ads. Well, in the last few years, we've been teaching agents to actually spend more time and attention on their personal profiles, on their personal Instagram, on their personal Facebook. Why? Because that's a database. And so the nice thing is we're going to share a lot of what's changed over the last year in today's session. And I can't wait to dig into all of that with you guys. But before we do, a couple quick things. I want to share some resources with you because we've got a couple new resources that we're sharing with great agents and leaders like yourself all across North America. And for those of you that are like, Jeff, I've been on, you know, all of your webinars. I've got the resources. Just hang with me for a second. And while I'm doing that, while I'm pulling out the resources, I want to know, because Greg, I think you'll find this fascinating. Even today, with all of the stuff we put out there, we still have brand new first timers joining us for the first time today. So if you're a first timer, I want to see, throw down in the chat, first timer, raise your hand, first timer. Rookie Glover U webinar attendee, just give me something in the chat. I want to see all of our first timers. Would you look at that, Greg? Even with everything we put out there today, there's still brand new people joining us. Thank you for taking some time out of your business today. I think you'll find this very worthwhile. Speaking of worthwhile and at absolutely no cost, I'm going to share with you some free resources. And this is absolutely for my first timers. But this is also for those that have maybe watched a webinar or two. Maybe you've come to some of our events, but you're not kind of up to speed on the newest, latest, greatest resources. So I'm going to share them with you now. First things first, starting with a copy of my 2023 business plan. This is the exact plan that I'm using in my personal business. I'll personally sell somewhere between 75 and 100 homes this year. Our team will sell 1,100 to 1,200 homes this year. This is the exact business plan that we use, and I'm giving it away for free. Here's how you get your hands on it. Now, I know some of you are very savvy. So you're saying, well, Jeff, come on. It's like February. I already got my plan done. Good for you. I love it. And I would encourage you to get a copy of our plan. Why? because there might be one or two things in there that you can pull from it that you can add to your current plan. And if it's been a while since you've taken a look at your business plan, now would be a good time to go back and add this. So do me a favor, write down gloveru.com/plan. Everyone got a workbook? If not, go ahead and get that printed off, because there's all sorts of great resources in here that I'm not going to cover today. And I want to make sure you have some of the resources that I won't have a chance to get to. So make sure you get this printed off. It's proven when you write and take notes, it's more likely to stick than when you type or just listen. All right. So get this printed off. There it is in the chat. Again, if you need to do so, if you chimed in late, click on that, download it, get it printed. All right. So the first resource I want to share with you is the 2023 business plan. Currently, it's selling for $50 online. When you go to gloveru.com/plan, it's going to take you to the GloverU shop. You're going to see it in there for $49. I'm going to give you a code to get it for free. All right. So again, the domain is gloveru.com, Morning Al, gloveru.com/plan. And the code is winter webinar, all one word, winter webinar. You'll see your cart go from $49 to $0. All right. There's a $50 gift card on me. Go get a copy of the plan. Regardless if your business plan's done or not, I promise you're going to get some value. Good to see you, Juliana. gloveru.com/plan. The code is winter webinar. There you have it. It's free. It's yours. Next, does anyone currently on this session subscribe to what's now called the Unreal Life magazine? Where are my Unreal Life magazine subscribers at? All right, let's see it. All right. There we go. Okay, good. So we produce 60,000 copies of these, and we send them out to producers all across North America. If you want to get your hands on one of these, and it's all real estate sales and business knowledge, all good stuff. Usually it's between 90 and 100 pages. It's real simple. I'll share with you how you can get your hands on it. Go ahead and open up your Facebook app. Go to your Facebook app. And in the top right-hand corner, there's going to be a little magnifying glass. You're going to search Glover, Glover, the letter U, space, inner circle. Should come up right away. Glover U inner circle should look like that. You're going to click on the group, and it's going to ask you if you'd like to join the free Facebook group. Obviously, the Facebook group is free. If you're joining the Facebook group, you're going to see in there, it's going to ask you some questions, first name, last name. It's going to ask you if you'd like to subscribe to this. This is a physical magazine, so don't put your email address in there. Tell us where you want us to mail it. We'll mail it to your house. We'll mail it to your office. If you're in Canada, we'll mail it to Canada. If you're in the US, we'll mail it anywhere in the US. And that's how you get your hands on this magazine. Now, there's a handful of you that are already in the inner circle, because this happens every single webinar. We'll get a message afterwards saying, hey, I'm already in the inner circle, but I don't get this magazine. How do I get it? Super simple. You go to gloveru.com/mag, gloveru.com/MAG. All right. If you're not in the inner circle, just go join the inner circle. That's how you get this. If you're already in the inner circle, but you don't get this, gloveru.com/MAG. And every time we produce a new one, and I mean, we take, our keynote speakers from our events. We'll take panelists from our events. We have somebody sitting in the audience at our events that transcribes everything. And some of it makes it into the magazine. Of course, we can't give everything away. That's why there's value in coming to events. Speaking of events, Greg, I don't know if you had heard, we announced probably about a month ago at our retreat in Traverse City, we're going to have Ed Milet for $399 right now. Not a bad deal, but that's not a free resource. So I'm not going to talk about that. You guys can find out more about that later. That's at the GloverU retreat. That's gloveru.com/retreat. Last but not least, the daily message, All right. This is our hottest resource. We now have 16,000 top producing agents from all across the US and Canada signed up for this. And if you are in Canada, there's a different way to do this. So don't do this if you're in Canada. I'll give you the instructions on how to do so. Monday through Friday, I write a daily message. Do we have daily message subscribers on today? Let me see in the chat if you subscribe to the daily message. Show of hands, where are my daily message subscribers at? Do you guys get value out of that? I hope so. Anyways, every day, and by the way, today I started a new series on mindset, which is crucial for all of the negative media and everything we've been hearing about the market. So every day I write a message, real estate sales specific. Sometimes it's real estate marketing. Sometimes it's sales. Sometimes it's a script. Sometimes it's, hey, I went on an appointment last night. Here's what the seller said to me, and here's how I responded. Anyways, I write a message Monday through Friday. I promise you it's better than coffee. If you open up your text messages, here's how you sign up. It's totally free. If you open up your text message, Greg's had plenty of coffee this morning, he informed me. If you open up your text message, the phone number is 55444. For my Canadian friends, hang tight for a second. I'll show you how you get it. So you send a message to 55444, just like that. And in the body of the message, you're going to type morning. That's it. Just one word, morning, to 55444. Send the word morning to 55444. And just like that, you're all set. It's going to ask you your first name and last name in like a minute or so. Give it some time, and that'll get you signed up for that. Nope, doesn't have to be capitalized, just morning. That's it. All right. And if at any time you're not happy with the messaging, you can just reply stop and we will remove you. So for those of you that are like, I don't feel like giving my information, is he going to spam me through this? No, it's not spam. It's all real and relative content to what we're experiencing in today's market. Again, you're messaging morning to 55444. Okay. It's 11:15, and that means it's time to shift gears. We're going to get into 11:15 Eastern time. I realize we've got people on from all different time zones. So thank you. Oh yes, Canada. How could I forget Canada? We've been spending so much time in Canada, Mario. If you're in Canada and you want to sign up for the daily message, it's not as easy as just texting morning to 55444, but it is pretty easy. You're going to text email. I'm sorry, not text email. You're going to email info@gloveru.com, and then they're going to put this in the chat for you as well. So this is just for my Canadian friends for that daily text. You're going to email info@gloveru.com, subject line morning. Okay, so it's the same message, but just put morning in your subject line. They'll know what that means. And in the body of your email, you're just going to do first name, last name, cell phone. That's it. So you're going to email info@gloveru.com, subject line morning, body of the email, first name, last name, cell phone. That's all you need to do. My friends from Canada will get you signed up so you can receive that each and every day as well. And that's the daily text message that comes out Monday through Friday. All right. Awesome. I'm so excited to get into today's topic because I know it's a hot one. I know it's one that makes a massive difference in our business, in our conversion. You know, today consumers, they're already making their mind up. Before you get there, they're deciding who they're going to go with based on what they see on social media. So there was a day when you would go out and present and they would make a decision on who they're hiring based on what it is you have to say and what materials, you put in front of them and flip through. Today, when they get there, their mind is already made up. They know who they're going with. Same thing for buyers. They know exactly who they're going to be moving forward with and helping them find a home based on what they see on social media. So Greg is the master at marketing and social media, coming from the number one home seller in the state of Michigan to the number one home seller in the state of Ohio. Obviously not as great of a state as Michigan, but still it's quite a feat to be number one in any state, Greg. Greg, our marketing master, why don't you take it away?
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. Hi, Jeff. How many people registered for this? Just so I can gauge my stress level.
Yeah, just over 2,000, my friend.
Yeah, so no pressure here. All right, so sorry if I don't get your questions in the DMs there back and forth. So anyway, I'm honored and just excited to share, quite frankly, what I think to be the most exciting evolution and paradigm shift in real estate that's happening right now. Quite frankly, not real estate. I think it's happening within marketing, within the entire spectrum of life, marketing, and the way people choose their consumption of goods and services. It's all changed. And quite frankly, it's changed, I would say, in the last 5 years. It's been coming and it's happened. And what I want to do, and as part of my contribution to Glover U and to the real estate community, is bring that to the real estate market, realtors. I want realtors to understand how to market themselves in the world we live in today. So there's 3 general ways that people can build business in real estate. There's prospecting based, there's personality based, and there's marketing based, right? Personality based. The way that works is you've got a great personality. You sit at open houses, people love you, they work with you. Anybody that meets you wants you to be their realtor because you have that dynamic, charismatic, trustworthy personality and brand. The second is prospecting. And of course, Jeff is the master of prospecting, right? Scripts, put on the headset, Red X that thing, call, exactly, lock it down. Justin Ford kills it in prospecting, right? And then finally, there's marketing. And marketing is an additional way you can add it as a supplement to those other two forms, or you can, quite frankly, I believe, and I have been able to, my team and I, and Mike Zinicola, my business partner, we've created a team in the state of Ohio based really around marketing. Yes, great personalities are important, but the marketing, the concept of creating online funnels and online brand that make people call your phone instead of you calling their phone. There's quite a difference there. Again, if you can master all three, there's no plausibility or possible way that you will not be leading the industry, right? But many people can survive and survive very well on any one of those three. Today, we're going to talk about marketing mastery. So I'm going to dive into, I'm going to share this screen here. Jeff, can you audibly tell me if you can see the build your business, my slideshow? Yep, thumbs up. All right, cool. All right, awesome. Let's see. I've got a short amount of time. I've had 3 cups of coffee, so we're going to talk really fast. Hope you all can keep up. If you can't, get off now. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so here we go. I really do enjoy this, and I'm going to try to pack a ton of information into a short period of time. So everybody get your pens out. Let's go. Today and today only, you can subscribe to any one of my channels. Kidding. It's always free. I don't know if anybody picked up on that, but another free resource. Now, why did I throw this in here? This is going to pertain to the rest of what we're talking about today. Greg Erlanger, Greg Erlanger, Greg Erlanger. Well, wait a minute. You're a realtor. Wait a minute. You're a Keller Williams. Wait a minute. You're at Glover U. You're Jeff Glover's Glover U coach. Okay. Why are you promoting your own brand within that? All right. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We don't need to be ashamed or scared of doing such a thing. So there, sold a bunch of houses. Yay. An amazing business partner. I got an amazing team. And all of them have really embraced the strategies in the state of Ohio to help us succeed at levels since 2004. I've been a realtor since 2004. I've seen 2 market shifts. I've migrated through different versions of marketing to continue to win. In the beginning, when I first started, created marketing funnels. Those are still important. Single site websites that drive traffic to your database, right? That's one way. The next way, we then implemented a media company. If you look down at the bottom, Easy Media, which is also Live on Real Media, a media company to create video. And this is where the next step of marketing mastery and the marketing evolution comes for 2023. But the argument of we need to do video, that argument is over. And we created a media company in the last 3 years that is absolutely fantastic. So I have the ability to help you outsource, insource, or quite frankly, create your own media company. That's something we can talk about. But where the paradigm shift honestly happens is, I guess I'll talk about that because that's going to be the premise of the next 15, 20 minutes here, is the argument of creating video. We used to say, hey, you really need to do video, but I don't want to do video. That argument is over. You have to do video. And we're going to talk about why you have to do video. Now, take a step back. If you're a new agent, if you really don't like the sound of that, remember, there's always prospecting. There's always personality-based businesses that do very, very well. If you want to succeed in the marketing form, it's going to be very difficult to do without using the number one choice of consumers, and that is video. So that's really where we're going to evolve into 2023. So in 2023, some of the goals that you want to do is you want to be an influencing brand. And I highlight influencing, right? You all hear social media influencers. There's something to take away from that. There's something to understand about that. We'll get into that. Create content that works. A lot of folks say, okay, that's great. I need to do video. And you get stuck on what type of content to provide. I don't understand what type of content, who am I even targeting? What platform am I putting on? Those type of questions come up and they stall you from your success in marketing. Finally, number 3, master the art of content creation. How do I create this, Greg? I don't have a media company like you do. My friends, I started with a GoPro on a stick and my admin, who is now running our entire media company, right? But he was sitting right next to me and we just started talking about creating video. And this would have been about 4 or 5 years ago. And now fast forward 5 years later, and we've got an entire media company. So please don't throw that self-limiting belief that you can't become a content creator. And again, one of the things we'll talk about, in case I miss it, I want to make sure that we understand this. We need to, and I got this from the summit down in Orlando, Jeff, but we need to be creators of content, not consumers of content, right? We're all consuming this content online saying, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. We need to get to we need to move the needle. We need to move ourselves into content creators. And then finally, we need to build raving fans, right? We need, I used to call them bird dogs, right? Those are those clients of yours that'll go and get you about 3 deals a year because they're just a raving fan of yours. You have to use my realtor. They're the greatest. They're the best. How do we create raving fans through marketing strategies? Question I want you to ask yourself, what is the marketing objective when listing a home? You have a home, you listed it. What is the marketing objective? Let's rewind 10 years ago, 15 years ago. If you can, I'll tell y'all how it worked. You would want yard signs. Why? So you could have your name on the yard sign. Why did you want your name on the yard sign? Because that would get you what? More listings. So the point of getting one listing was to get another listing. We can do that same thing in video and online marketing through strategies that we'll learn here today. But what I will need you to do first is understand, I'm going to skip through this, but for the analytical folks that are watching today, you can go to NAR statistics and they'll prove my point, which is people are buying and they're searching and they're making decisions on their real estate agent online. They're self-studying, they're going online, and they're not actually going to multiple realtors. They're selecting you just like we go to Amazon and we select the product we want before we ever see it, right? They're not interviewing as much as they used to in person. We don't go to the kitchen table and we're one of 3 realtors. We go online and that's how they decide which realtor they want to go with. So is your best content, is your listing presentation or the unique value proposition you're creating online? I just like to throw the stats out here. I'm not a high analytical, but for the folks that are, everything is validated through NAR statistics. So let's start with how to become an influencing brand. I want you to understand conceptually an influencing brand starts with brand. You have to understand why you yourself are unique within the millions of realtors in the market today. Why are you unique from the team that you're on, from the office you're in, from the brokerage you're with, right? What makes you unique? What is your brand? That in itself is a whole conversation. I'll talk a little bit about that here today. Production. So once you have the brand, how do you produce content to communicate that brand to the masses? How do you get them to the target market that you're looking for? Do you even know what target market you're going after? Are you going after equestrian estates, downtown condos? Why downtown condos? Because they have a high turnover rate. Have you thought about who you're targeting? What I've learned by being a coach at Glover U and just meeting thousands of realtors across the country is we see social media as a place to scream as loud as we can and just scream white noise into the ether. There's no marketing strategy. There's no, it's the analogy of a fog light versus a laser. And what we want to do is turn ourselves into a laser and specifically cut right through exactly what we want to do and succeed at. So we need to know what we're producing and who we're producing it for. And then the content. What type of content are we creating? Are we solving people's problems? One of the basic rules of social media is I see you, not look at me. Too many realtors are creating a situation where it's look at me. They're not saying I see you. And that is another thing. Actually, I learned at another Glover U event, had a great speaker there, Brittany Hodak. Yeah, I think she was the one that actually said that. We want to create super fans. And so the content, and then what is a fan? A fan is somebody that has chosen you and embraced you as their brand. They want to affiliate with everything you stand for. They want to affiliate themselves with you. Think of the folks that you subscribe to on YouTube. Think of the folks that, think of the shoes you have on. If you have tennis shoes, are they Curry's? Are they LeBron's? Are they Kyrie's? We're literally affiliating ourselves with people. We're fans of those players, not so much fans of Nike or Adidas. We're fans of Curry. We're fans of LeBron. Kyrie's. Very, very infrequently do we actually like the way the shoe looks. We want to affiliate ourselves. We're fans of that person, that brand. And then finally, if you have fans out there, that's where the money comes in. Because you're sitting there going, are we talking about social media? How does this apply to me selling one more house? If you don't have fans out there perpetuating you as the greatest thing since sliced bread, your opportunity to get inbound referrals is much less. Makes sense. So we want to increase that. Last year, Mike and I had a plan. We did a 1-3-5, which is a strategy to create a goals and have your goals in front of you. And it was to increase the amount of agent to agent referrals. We did multiple activities to make that happen. We went from 48 agent to agent referrals to 100 agent to agent referrals. We did that by creating fans. We did that by really using a marketing funnel, and marketing can come in a variance of different ways, but making sure you're easily found, making sure you're easily understood online is where that all comes from. So let's talk about what your brand is. And Jeff, do you have anything?
Yeah, the layperson, in me hears on that last slide, stop posting haphazardly. Actually have a strategy behind each one of your posts. If you're doing something, on a Wednesday, it doesn't have to be posted on Wednesday. It could be posted on Friday. It could be posted Saturday morning. If you already have a post that's getting good engagement that's out there, don't crush the engagement by creating another one right after that. Be very strategic in the time, in the frequency. It shouldn't be, 3 or 4 posts between Monday and Tuesday and then nothing the rest of the week. Spread those out. Have a strategy behind each one. I love that.
Love it. Love it. So I'm going to hit, and you'll see me skip a couple slides because to try and put, honestly, there's just so much to cover. So I'm going to do my best, but so you'll see me skip some slides, but understand that I want you to have a macro perspective. I'll give you some really micro tools that you can use today. But in general, I don't want you using those tools like CapCut or anything like that if you don't get the basics down. And this is where the white noise, where people are just yelling into the world with no strategy, they don't know what their brand is. So how do we determine what our brand is? One of my mentors once told me, she said, Greg, you don't see yourself the way other people see you. And brand is a lot like that. In order for your brand to be honest and real and uniquely you, you need to talk to 10 people. This is your first homework assignment. The people that do this have a lot of success with it. Most of you will just kind of ignore me and not write this down and not do this. It's a little bit awkward, but you need to talk to 10 people and say, when you think of my real estate brand, or when you think of me personally, as a realtor or just in general, what are 3 words, 3 feelings that you get when you think of me? If you do this to 10 people and bonus points for 12, and you start, you will see a pattern. There will be one word that identifies you. Mine was caffeinated. I'm sorry. Mine was high energy, which I call caffeinated. And that's, people say, Greg, you're real motivational, high energy and all this and that. And they didn't realize I had 3 cups of coffee, but high energy is a part of who and what my brand is. What is your brand? So you'll have one that'll just jump out, maybe 2. The third one is also going to be there, but you can also say the second question that I want you to write down: what do you want to be known for? What is it that you want to be known for? So homework assignment number 1 is ask 10 people how they feel. What are your brand words? I need descriptive words: high energy, happy, trusting, caring. I promise you, it's going to surprise you just a little bit. Why? Because innately humans give themselves, even the ones that you think are confident, they actually have lower self-esteem. They don't give them, I know this is getting a little real here, they don't give themselves as much credit as they should. Most times people see you in a higher regard than you see yourself, right? Do you ever see the person who's very attractive and they're always beating themselves up on how they look? I see it all the time when I ask people to get on video. Folks that are really attractive, they never want to be on video. It's kind of weird. And it's just, what I want you to do is consider for a second that others see you differently than yourself. When you do that, you're going to have a more genuine brand. When you can articulate your brand, it has to be honest. It can't be fraudulent. So if you think you're one way and 10 people think you're another, it's going to be challenging. So I know I gave you a little tough homework assignment there. If you do it, I promise you, you're going to be you're going to be ready to go. I see a question in the chat. They're saying, oh, so the question I want you to ask yourself though is, within real estate, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? What brand, what is it that you want to be known for? And the questions that you ask the people are, what 3 descriptors, what feelings do you get, right, when you think of me? And you're talking to your business partners, you're talking to clients, you're talking to your family, and just get those 10. You'll start to realize, hey, I'm funnier than I thought I was, or, hey, I have more energy. I really never thought I had high energy, but I kept hearing it over and over again. Great brands solve problems. What problem do you solve? If you care, well, the problem that you solve is that a lot of realtors are just seeing things as transactions, but I'm a realtor who cares. All of a sudden, you can start to create great content around that. Are you excited about the brand you've created, about what you want to perpetuate? Are you excited about that? Is that something you can sell and you can live within for the rest of your career? Obviously, things can change over time, but anybody starting out, any veteran might be struggling because they've missed one of the descriptors, one of their high value propositions. They didn't even realize they had that. So if I can help you self-discover in this one exercise, hopefully, well, that'll make me happy. And that's what I'm in this for, is to try and help and grow everyone. So what is your brand? First thing is Google yourself. Again, there's the homework assignment. Ask 10 people what your brand is. I need you to brand repair and maintenance. And what that means is when you Google yourself, you're going to see a lot of things that may be out of brand, right? If you're sophisticated, luxury, educational, and then you see something, you're doing a keg stand from college, you might want to remove that. That would be maintaining your social media. Set comment goals. Comments goals mean, and there's a whole conversation around that, but when you post something, when somebody likes it, you probably don't know who that was. If somebody puts a heart by it, you might be paying attention. If somebody comments on it, you remember who that was. You're now engaging. And that again goes back to ICU, right? So a comment goal is every day you should be getting out there and commenting on your sphere of influence. You should be letting them know, I'm looking at you. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. That looks great. All of those kinds of positive reinforcements to let them know, top of mind marketing, how do advertisers today stay in front of us. They're constantly putting content out in front of us everywhere, at bus stops, at the airports, wherever. So, this is your way for free to stay in front of all of your clients. What is your brand influence? The influence of your brand is, and this is when you start to see influencers on social media. What are they doing? They're entertaining. They're solving problems. They know who their audience is. They're not trying to appeal to everybody. They're appealing to a subset of culture, of clients. They're solving the problems of a certain demographic and group that they know will buy their services and products. Is that something you've even thought about? Remember, we're realtors, we're independent contractors. We have to have a marketing department. There's no Fortune 500 company in the world that doesn't have a marketing department. Okay. There needs to be a communication. You need to think of yourself that way, and your broker can't do it for you. The broker is focused on the brand development and the unique value that they provide to you as an agent. They're focused on their marketing, not your marketing. So you have to be the marketing department. Questions, some basic questions in your brand. Are you entertaining? Are you motivating? Are you training? FAQs. How does fire insurance work? Pet insurance work? How does knob and tube wiring work? Not work? What are things to consider? There's a myriad of questions that you can answer. Frequently asked questions you can answer. If you want to be known as an expert in the industry. If you want to say you're an expert in the industry, prove it. Teach me something, show me something. And are you a character in a story they want to follow and tell their friends about? Are you interesting? Right? Have you ever gone to a party and there's that person that's just kind of standing there and you kind of move away from them. But then there's also somebody that's dynamic and that's engaging and that's asking questions typically about you, not talking about themselves. But when you walk up to them, you're going to get 3 questions about how are you doing? What are you up to lately? What's going on with you? Right? We want to follow that same social etiquette on social media, right? We want to bring the real life experience to the digital format. Here's an example of building a brand within a brand. There's 2,000 people registered here today. You might be on a team. You might be in a brokerage. You might be in an office. You might be a part of the National Association of Realtors. Every one of those brands has brand equity that you should be cashing in on, right? So this is just an example of Jeff's sister, who's on the Glover agency. Okay. So Jeff's sister has her own brand. She has to develop that. And if she develops that, the Glover agency wins. Why? I always use the analogy of Target. When we walk into Target, we know that I'm going to be able to find powerful brands like Sharpie, like Masterlock, like Windex, right? These are brands we know. If we walked in there and they were all private labeled everywhere, and we've seen some drugstores do that, right? They all go private label and you're like, I'm willing to pay $10 more or $5 more for a large bottle of Advil or Bayer. I don't want the generic brand, right? So why do you see the power of brand? So the stronger that, Christy's brand is, Jeff wins. And so as a team owner, you want to consider building the brands of the agents on your team. As a brokerage, you want to make sure that your teams have powerful brands, right? The brokerage wins. And again, we're an agnostic company. So yes, I'm at Keller Williams, Jeff's at Keller Williams. That does not mean that that's not our focus here. These are examples. Understand that we support and we train realtors. The biggest thing that we're a part of is the National Association of Realtors. That's what Jeff and I are committed to, all realtors in the United States and small business owners. In fact, in my last marketing mastery class, I had a couple of folks that were not even in the real estate industry. So marketing is something that goes across all small businesses. Folks, we run small businesses. And I don't want you to forget to cash in on the brand equity that each one of these, your brokerage, National Association of Realtors, Glover Agency, and yourself have. All of those are important when you come to marketing. When you look at teams, that's where we talk about co-branding. Don't leave these brands on the shelf. Why do you think GoPro and Red Bull went together? Together, we can go far, right? By ourselves, we can go fast. Together, we can go far. It's an African proverb. I always bring that one up because I like it a lot. I think the concept of teaming up, whether it be just brand or within a team, I think it's powerful. BMW and Louis Vuitton. When you do that, what happened to BMW and Louis Vuitton? Those are both equal type of luxury brands. I would suggest that maybe BMW got an uptick. I think it was probably their idea to tie Louis Vuitton to themselves, because I think that makes them even more luxurious. That's what they're striving for. BMW is striving for, and they want to beat Mercedes in the concept of luxury, right? And so they did a co-branding. You can do that as a realtor. As a realtor, you decide what brands you want to affiliate with. A lot of you folks have decided to brand, quite frankly, with Glover U. Why? Because Glover U shows education, training. I take my business serious. I'm more than just flash and flare. I'm deeply trying and committed to growing myself so that I can grow others, or so that I can build and help my homeowners at a higher level.
That's a really good example. We're finding a lot of teams and brokerages, Greg, are promoting the fact that they attend Glover U events, or that they use, SLS in their training, because it actually gives them a stronger value proposition with real estate agents and helps them with retention as well. So that's a good example of that too.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for everybody. I want to thank everybody for letting me go through the basics. Now, marketing mastery, I slow this all down and I allow people to kind of develop their brands. We share with each other. It's an amazing experience. That's kind of the basics. But to summarize the basics is, number one, I'm just going to put it in red right here. It's right in front of you. They need to find you. So that's great that you have a brand you believe in and that people believe in, and it's working, and you start to see it and how it's working. But they need to find you. If they can't find you, if you're a personality-based realtor and you go to do an open house, that's a one-to-one experience. Mm-hmm. Only one person walking the door can find all your unique value and your personality and how beautiful your smile is and all those wonderful things. One person. We need to make it one-to-many. And that's where we start to get into social media. We need a one-to-many. So here I'm going to give you an example. Hopefully you can hear this. If not, just understand.
I love this video. We played this at the summit. The crowd was like, ah.
Yes. And I'm going to, it takes about a minute here, but I want you guys, I'm going to jump it just a little. Well, no, I'm going to let it roll. What I want you to do is pay attention. These are the most popular websites since 1993. Yes, that's when I graduated high school. I'm old as dirt. Check out AOL. You guys remember AOL? GeoCities, right, Troy? Look at Yahoo, dominant. Yahoo was dominant in 2001. Crushed everybody. Pay attention to Google. Look at Microsoft. Nobody was ever going to beat Microsoft. It's 2004 now. Oh, look at MySpace. If you guys want to find me on MySpace, legit, I'm there. I just did that for fun. Who has a MySpace account? Who's proud of their MySpace account? There's YouTube. Look at YouTube just running. And is it interesting that in 2009, Facebook was kind of a thing, but not really a thing? 2010. Now we start to see some familiar faces. Google, Yahoo, YouTube, Facebook. But I want you to pay attention to the years, how quickly things change, how quickly things change. Look at YouTube. Look at Yahoo. Yahoo's dying. 2015, Google is dominating. They've got a chokehold on the internet, absolutely choking the internet. Google, Alphabet owns Google. Google, my friends, owns YouTube. YouTube and Facebook are fighting, but they're dying underneath Google. Don't worry, Google will fix that. See how Google's fixing it? Now all of a sudden you see YouTube on top of Facebook. They're battling a little bit in 2019, but then COVID happens. All of a sudden YouTube's taken off. The world's changing. YouTube TV. Google, remember, still owns YouTube. It's 2022. Here we are in 2022. Look where YouTube is. But the last couple of years between 2021 and 2022, you're seeing an obvious change where Facebook is dying and YouTube is growing. That's what I want you guys to pay attention to. So 1 billion videos viewed each day, 500 hours of video uploaded per minute. Video is the way of the world. It's not an argument anymore. I spent the last marketing mastery class imploring and having conversations about how video is something that is something we need to get into. And I really kind of, I think I felt like it was an argument, but at this point, I think we're all comfortable. And that's why I pivoted. And that's why I've actually changed a significant part of marketing mastery to focus on this next evolution. At this point, video is where it's at. So what do? Yes, Jeff's favorite slide. I told him I wouldn't do it, so I did it. We've got MrBeast. All right. MrBeast is, he has a video. One of your homework assignments is to listen to the Joe Rogan Experience. MrBeast is 23 years old. He is worth over $20 billion, and that's based off the amount of viewership. He makes $48 million a year. He's the number one YouTube channel, number one YouTuber out there. Now, here's where the massive paradigm shift happens, and I think I can illustrate it best with this. Actually, just yesterday, he launched a video where he cured 1,000 people of blindness. And you've got to ask yourself, that's the hook, right? Wait, I need to see that. How did you do that? I'm not even going to tell you because I don't want to ruin his hook. But he did absolutely cure 1,000 people of blindness. Within 48 hours, he received 57 million views. Okay. Super Bowl last year, 99 million viewers. What one's more important if you're an advertiser, right? So this is what's happened, and it's blowing Fortune 500 companies out of the water. They need to pivot. They need to shift. The ones who don't adapt to the future will not survive. Sears and Roebuck, MySpace, Yahoo, right? We just saw an example of that. If you don't believe that, you know, that's why you're here, because hopefully I can kind of showcase and show you something. Next question, you'd say, hey, Greg, I understand MrBeast. He's a YouTuber. What exactly does he do? I don't want you to watch his, yes, go subscribe. That's great. But I don't want you to watch it. Yes, it's entertaining, but I want you to watch the cuts. I want you to watch his thumbnails. He spends $10,000 on 3 different thumbnails for every video he produces, and then selects the one that has the best connectivity. The best engagement is the word we use, right? Why does this matter to selling a house? Do you see how we're funneling this down? We have to create raving fans. We have to create content. Where does that content live? Why would we not put that content on the #1 platform? I think a lot of folks are talking about TikTok. They're talking about Instagram. They're talking about Facebook. They're talking about Snapchat. They're talking about, bottom line is what we just saw in that video was Google. Google runs the world. Alphabet owns Google. Google owns YouTube. YouTube will win. TikTok's in trouble. Why is TikTok in trouble? Because they have not, they won't beat Google at monetization and ad postings, right? So what I want you to do is, as opposed to saying, well, I work on LinkedIn a lot, or I worked on TikTok a lot, I want you to understand that YouTube is the dashboard. YouTube is going to monetize and start paying for shorts. The minute that they start paying and monetizing, and what I mean by that for the folks who don't understand how MrBeast made $48 million, he's catching all the attention of people online. So the currency of the internet is attention. It's time. How can you take the time and make them pay attention to you? And that's how you can monetize. So advertisers will pay money to sit in the space of a MrBeast video. They will pay more money to be on a MrBeast video, which of course you would. It gets more views in the Super Bowl than they will for that 30-second spot in the Super Bowl. So let's not look at this 23-year-old guy named MrBeast. His name is actually Jimmy Beast. So it's more than just a goofy name. Like that's who he is. When you watch his video, you'll get the entertainment. Kids love it. there's a strategy there. If you can win over the kids, you can win over the entire industry. And that's exactly what TikTok did, right? It started with girls doing funny dances, and now everybody uses TikTok. It's demographics. It's across the board now. Everybody's using TikTok. All of this to be said is, in Marketing Mastery before, we studied what the Fortune 500 companies are doing. And yes, it's important. Now, in addition to that, in Marketing Mastery, we're going to talk about what are social influencers doing. And we see some really great ones in the industry. You've got Ken Pozak down in Florida. You've got, I always forget her name, out of Atlanta. Somebody's going to put it in the chat. Thank you for doing that. I bet I see it 14 times. Glenda Baker. Glenda Baker is out of Atlanta, Georgia. These guys are taking social media and they're bringing it to real estate. That's exactly what I want to do. The difference between them and me, really specifically, and I love them both, is that I, as a coach, am going to train and teach this to you step by step, how to go from point A to point Z. I'm not going to say, yes, I've had success in this, but I want to show you step by step how to do that. So that's what MrBeast can, there's a lot of lessons on that. In fact, one of the classes is dedicated to him, and we start to unwrap exactly what he's doing. Okay. And here's just an example. He's got 127 million subscribers. This is what his site looks like, but it all seems laughable and silly when you start to see some of the things he's doing. I survived 50 hours in Antarctica, 72 million views. Okay, you're a realtor. You can't go to Antarctica. Okay, I get that. But what can you do to create information that's entertaining? And in this case, it's just information that's entertaining. He's not really solving problems, but he did just add that in his latest video about literally curing blindness. He also has a dedication to healthy foods, and he also gives back. And it's pretty incredible what he's doing for the shelters as far as food, etc. So he's also his part of his brand is philanthropy when you get to know him. So we're going to unwrap exactly what he's doing and why he has so many raving fans, because that's what you and I want. Remember, in order to make money in real estate through marketing, you have to have raving fans, and those can be created, believe it or not, through YouTube. YouTube, by the way, is a long form video. So let's talk about content that works and where do we place it. And I'm just trying to stay within my time constraints because I have so much information and I want to add that. But YouTube is the dashboard. It is long form video. Long form video is about 8 minutes long. And this is where you can do podcasting. You can do long form video is where you can have long conversations, quite frankly, about topics in the industry and things like that. You can do frequently asked questions. You can really get into it in long form. And now YouTube has given it a place. It's an environment for you to live in short form as well. YouTube Shorts are absolutely the future. It's what's going to put Instagram Reels and TikTok out of business. At least that's what the industry leaders in social are saying. So if I were you, I would spend your time on YouTube, and I would chance that 90% of the folks watching this right now, even though you're interested and excited about marketing, don't have a solid YouTube channel. That's also a class that we're going to go through. Anyone that finishes Marketing Mastery will have a complete YouTube channel with the playlists, with a layout that is strategically laid out for you to maximize the engagement and create fans. Short form video is very short. Obviously, it's under 60 seconds. Typically, sometimes it can be 60 to 90 seconds. What that does, that's a teaser. That's something of value. And you have to earn the right for them to continue watching, right? As you're flipping up, you're going to watch that. The consumer is doing in a short form video one thing. They're deciding, how long do I want to watch this before I flip to the next video? So we're going to talk about short form and long form video. Also another class we spend an entire hour on. Long form video, you have to earn the right to even be clicked. They're making a decision. Am I going to sit here for 30 minutes, maybe an hour? And actually, am I going to commit this much time to watching your long form video? You have to earn the right. And that's why the thumbnail is so important, because you're earning the right. And the content is so important. Is your topic something I want to see, right? There's a lot going on in that. And you can do that within real estate. Again, this is realtors in general are behind the curve when it comes to marketing strategies that other companies, small businesses, and quite frankly, the 20 somethings that are doing social media influencing right now. You can be a social influencer without green screening or being a gamer. Does that make sense? I used to think a social media person had to be like a video gamer, and they'd show how to break into the whatever, how to pass another level. You can tell I'm from the 80s when I talk about getting to the next level, because that doesn't exist anymore, really. It's all about sandbox environments and such. But let's talk about content that works. I want to give you a couple as quick as I can. I want to give you a couple takeaways from today. Like I see you versus look at me. That's something you can immediately dive into. What's in it for them if they listen to you? Like, stop putting out there what you want people to see about you. Like, stop telling your story and your opinion. One of the best videos I did was I just asked people, what's your opinion, Lowe's or Home Depot? It had a great engagement. Why? Because I gave them a platform to tell me their opinion. Everybody wants to share their opinion, right? And nobody wants to hear your opinion. I think that really hit home for me when I noticed how much engagement I got. I didn't tell them what I chose, right? I asked them for their input. So what's in it for them if they listen to me? Okay, well, first you have to prove your validity in a certain area. That's why it has to be genuine and honest. Now, you can get validity in an area by being the DJ. This is a great tip. I want you to write this one down. I also got this from a Glover U Summit seminar. You can be the DJ of other people's content. Even today, when you take the Unreal Life magazine, you could literally hold it up and say, guys, 3 tips that I want to share with you on selling a home fast in this market. You could do a green screen where it's behind you, and you can just become the DJ of other people's content. And then here's the key. Hashtag and start to mention Glover U or larger brands than yourself. And what happens if they share it on their platform? Now you're in front of their thousands of followers. Do you see how that works? Like, and when you watch MrBeast, he not only the people that he invites onto his videos are other top influencers with millions of followers. That's not by accident, folks. So if you're doing a podcast, invite somebody else that has a ton of people on their podcast. This is what the new world is doing. And I'm afraid a lot of you guys don't know that, right? I think this is the opportunity to really learn and grow. Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you want to be known for? Was that one question we talked about? What are you currently known for is why you asked the 10 people the questions. And then I want to talk about three pillars of content. Don't worry. I see the clock. I got a clock right in front of me, Jeff. Don't you worry. I got you. Identify 3. I can see it in his face. I now know what Jeff's concern that Greg's talking too much face looks like. It looks like that. Anyway. All right. Identify 3 main pillars of content you uniquely know, love, and enjoy that provide value. So I see a lot of people throwing content out there, but they're not staying within content pillars. They got to stay within a segment. So for myself, and as an example, I am a realtor, I'm a landlord, and I love coaching. Those are 3 content pillars. And if I stay inside those, people know when they walk into my storefront what they can find because I stay consistent within those categories. Okay. So if I'm all over the place, it really will confuse the consumer and they won't want to follow you. They won't understand you.
You won't become known. You won't become known for anything.
Exactly. You become a fog light instead of a laser, right? This allows you to become a laser. Again, we kind of help curate and figure out which one of these pillars are, but you have to be excited about them. There's some great tips here. I'm going to try to hit you with some tips so that you guys are writing notes and that you walk away today with some, like, just some nice hits. Be the DJ of other people's content. Answer the questions you're asked every day. A lot of people struggle to figure out, where do I get content? Okay, I want to make a video on what, right? You're asked a question. Today, you'll be asked a question that can become a video. Tell stories. Dumpster fires make great stories. Don't be so prideful that all you're talking about is your success. Look, I won an award. Look, I sold another house. That's great. But honestly, and I've seen it, and you can test this. You can literally look at the videos you posted before and see the engagement. I broke a spigot off a faucet as a landlord. I'm in a hoodie. I look like death. I had to throw filters and none of them worked. I still look like death. But anyway, I posted, and it's actually the most engagement I've had so far. People appreciate a genuine you, a real you. I wear the suit out of respect for Glover U and for you guys today in this, as a coach. But truthfully, my happiest moment is wearing a hoodie in the basement of one of my rentals, fixing a faucet. But when things break, when deals go south, explain to folks what you did to solve it, but maybe you're just having a tough day. Share that with people. They will love it. Your engagement will go up. You'll become a real person to them. They'll feel like they know you. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for, the word is engagement. You don't want just viewers. You want people commenting. You want a back and forth. And by the way, in order to engage, that means you have to respond. If you're getting comments and you're not commenting back, you're missing the mark. You're missing the point, right? If your sphere of influence is now engaging all the content you've put out there and you're not taking the time to respond to it and communicate with them, you're missing an opportunity.
And hey, Greg, somebody asked a question about going live. Absolutely. When you go live on Instagram, you see that when you're on your Instagram, it'll say just started a live video. When you're on Facebook, your followers, you'll see when they're live. Live encompasses two things. Number one, the video and the notification. So absolutely go live on those platforms and then download the video and repurpose it later. Download the video and upload it to YouTube, download the video and send it out an email blast, download the video and chop it up into shorts, take it from a long form to a short. Absolutely take advantage of the lives.
Love it. Yes. Yeah. Going live is 100%. You get in front of people. You can do it in certain groups. You can create your neighborhood group and then go live in that group. That way you're getting in front, you're curating content specifically for them, which they will appreciate. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm in the neighborhood today. I live in Legacy Point, right? Is the name of the neighborhood. I can be in the Legacy Point group and say, today I'm walking past 3 of the houses that sold this year, blah, blah, blah. Answer the public is the final tip trick I want to throw you for content. Where do you get content? Answerthepublic.com. You type in something like condos or Cleveland, Ohio, and actually it goes through AI. It's going to go through and pull information or questions that have been typed into Google and Bing and all the search engines, and it's going to give you all these different questions. So in this example, I said Michigan real estate. One of the questions was, is Michigan a buyer's or seller's market? Boom, there's your next short form video. Mm-hmm. Just literally, that's the question. Is Michigan a buyer or seller's market? You know, and then you go right into it. Another tip is always use the word you. Try not to say I or my opinion or we or I, anything possessive. It's all about them. Everybody's the most sweetest word in the world is your own name. And if you hear it, it makes you happy. They also want to hear you. So you'll see a lot of successful social media postings start with, you might be asking yourself, why da, 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 right? It's you is the key word. There's a lot of, and again, we go through that through our classes. We talk about strategies and everything you do. And these are the type of things. Now, this is what I was going to skip by. Let me give you Gary Vee. He owns one of the largest media companies in the world. I'd also follow him. He's very honest. He's very raw. He will use profanity. So if you don't like it, don't follow him. But he's very sincere in his efforts to help people understand marketing. I've learned a lot from this gentleman. He's fantastic. And he says realtors specifically need to become media content experts. He says something after that. If you're ready to hear it, if you're not, just close your ears for a second. But if he says, if you don't become media content experts, get out of it, get out of real estate. It's a brutal statement. I believe it wholeheartedly. I don't believe we're moving away from video in the world we live in. I believe that we are moving towards it. And I want all of you guys to jump on this journey and come along with us. So master the art of creation. I'm going to give you, it's 12:01. So I'm going to give you a couple cool tips here. I want you to multi-purpose. This is one of my favorite tips. It's basically bulk recording, multi-purposing. What I mean by that is when you do a home tour, go to the home tour, stand in the kitchen and hold a sold sign and say, we just sold this house. The home was great. The kitchen was awesome. If you're looking for, well, you haven't sold it yet, right? That's okay. Because you created that for video for when you do sell it, right? At the same time, you can also be in the living room saying, we're having an open house this Sunday, blah, 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 right? You've just created your open house video, a sold video, and your listing video. You've done it all at the same time, saving you time and money. That's called bulk recording. Multi-purpose your long form into short form. We talk about all of these tips in Marketing Mastery, which
Greg, listen, I wouldn't, I wrote down one thing that I wanted to share today, and it's the hottest example that's spreading across the country when I go speak and do these tour stops. And everyone write this down. Some of you may have heard it before. Hamburger, not hot dog. Hamburger, not hot dog. Hamburger, not hot dog. You may remember that from elementary school, although every time I say that, everyone's like, nope, never heard of that before. Maybe it was just my elementary school, but what do I mean by that, Greg? Hamburger, not hot dog. Hamburger, not hot dog. Stop taking photos like this. That does not fit any platform on social media. Maybe YouTube long, but not even the YouTube shorts are like this. The YouTube shorts are like this. Instagram, this. Facebook, this. Stop turning your phone sideways. Moving forward, take group photos like this. Well, Jeff, I can't fit everyone in. pinch the screen and zoom out. Selfies get better engagement anyways. Why? Because your faces are up close. Hamburger, not hot dog. That is the best advice of 2023. If you don't walk away from this webinar with anything, take that. Sorry, Greg.
Oh no, I love it. I love it. And think about it. Why did they do that? Because you have your phone this way. They don't want the consumer to have to do anything, right? We're sitting there drooling on our couch. They're not asking us to burn a calorie by doing this.
Yep.
They know that we're just going to keep sliding straight up.
That's right.
That's why everything is created in the vertical, not the landscape.
Yes, it's a format for everything. So Greg, okay, here's the deal. If I want to spend more time hearing from you, learning from you, there's a way I can spend 16 weeks with you. Can you tell us how we can do that?
Yeah. And as you guys saw, I really struggled to try and throw high quality content into a short period of time. I'm going to have 16 weeks, once a week, Tuesday at 2:00 for $3.99 a month for 4 months. And we are literally going through all of this from the beginner to the large brokerage house. We are able to, I can meet you where you're at.
By the way, it's on page, for those following along, it's on page 18 in your workbook. If you just turn to 18 in your workbook, it's 16 weeks. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so no. And what you'll see here in the slide specifically, and I'll just read this, then we can stop the screen share. You guys can see Jeff's big, beautiful face, is YouTube channel. What we did all this previous 16 weeks. We're going to condense the highest, hottest stuff from those 16 weeks from the last Marketing Mastery. And now we have new content, heavily new content, because there's been a paradigm shift in everything. We're doing an entire class on YouTube channels, long form videos, AI tech tools. The artificial intelligence that's out there right now is quality. It literally will do things for you and help you write content, even your description of your like a marketing plan or the description of your homes, short form video. And then the concept of building subscribership. Yes, your database is important, but into the future, so is your subscribership base. How are we getting subscribers to follow us and choose us instead of us chasing them? And then how to become an influencer.
Yeah. So we're going to be spending 16 weeks, 45 minutes of content, and also 7 to 10 minutes of Q&A. So it's you get one-on-one with Greg. You can ask him questions on anything as you're going through in spending the 16 weeks together. The program Marketing Mastery was born, number one, out of a need for what we saw in the industry, something that was probably not taught in pre-license training and probably not taught by your brokerage or by your team, and that's okay. And we saw an absolute need in the industry, so much so that, Greg, who's known as in the marketing whiz in his market, I've always been known as the mass marketer in our market through TV, radio, and billboards. We got together and we basically sat in a room and whiteboarded everything a real estate agent needs to know and do to build a business and generate leads through marketing, right? As he started off the session, there's 3 ways you can do it: personality, prospecting, marketing. We threw the first 2 out the window and said, okay, we're only going to focus on marketing. If I were going to solely build my business based on marketing, what do I need to do? And now let's condense it into 16-week, 45-minute live sessions where Greg's your coach. And so not only did we do that, but now anyone who's taken Marketing Mastery before, and I know we've got a lot of previous students on, we've actually thrown out of the 16, we actually threw out 8 and are introducing 8 new concepts. Why? Well, because what we introduced when we first started the Marketing Mastery program about 1.5 years ago, those concepts are already old and it was time for a refresh. It was time for an update. So for any of my previous Marketing Mastery students, that might be a reason for you to consider it. But for those that are curious as to what is this Marketing Mastery program, if you didn't download the workbook, because it's in the back page of your workbook, you're going to text the word marketing to 55444, just like you did morning to 55444 to get the daily message, to get signed up for the daily text. When we first started today, you texted the word morning to 55444. You're going to text the word marketing to 55444. That'll give you all the information, no obligation. You'll see everything that's going to be covered in there. And, listen, I will tell you, we have a lot of people that go through one-on-one coaching. We have a lot of people that go through our group programs. Almost every single person ends up going through this at least once. Why? Because no matter what you're doing out there, whether you're prospecting based, whether you're personality based, when you're going on appointments, the consumers today are Googling you, they're Facebooking you, they're Instagramming you, they are stalking you before you even show up. now more than ever, marketing is actually not just a bonus. For a lot of agents, including myself, for years, it was like, hey, we got this prospecting thing down. Now let's add in marketing. I couldn't imagine doing it differently today without marketing. And so if you want to spend 16 weeks with Greg on every single, I mean, we're talking like everything from the basics of brand, like we covered a bit today, through how do we generate leads through marketing, that now how do we do video and get video out there in these different formats. A lot of the language that he used today may have sounded foreign to you. Once you go through 16 weeks with Greg, it's not going to be foreign. You're going to be an expert yourself. So Greg, anything else you want to add to that I left off?
One of the things there's one class alone that just goes through online lead sources, from the home lights to the homes for heroes and all that kind of stuff. And what's really neat about being in this organization is we talk to realtors across the country. So we've been able to funnel down and figure out, and Canada. Thanks. Love you, Canada. And you guys have all told us what's working, what's not, as far as lead gen. That one class alone, I'm confident, and I've heard it time and time again, will pay for the class itself, because you're going to get leads through marketing-based solutions and systems. The other thing I want to point out is the community that we've already created. We have hundreds of marketing masters that have already been through the class, and we're still masterminding and working together within a private Facebook group that you can join when you become a part of this group forever, right? It continues forever. Like, we get to share ideas, logos, videos, what went right, what went wrong, what type of tools are we using. Quite frankly, I've learned a ton by being in this community of marketing masters.
We open up our entire playbook. That's everything from our marketing materials to presentations to videos. I mean, we don't hold back. And yeah, you're right. There's probably, it's $399 a month for 4 months. So what is that? $1,600. But even one of the sessions, the lead generation session through marketing, that session alone will get your investment back. And the rest of that is just gravy on top of it. So we hope you'll join us. It starts in February. So just coming up in a few weeks here. If you're curious or you want to learn more, text the word marketing to 55444. You got all the details there in your workbook. If you joined us late, make sure you download this workbook. It's got free resources, everything we shared at the beginning of the session today. And Greg, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm dedicated holistically. Every one of my classes, I pour everything I have into it. Like you said, we open up the game book. We open up everything. My success has been through marketing. I'm passionate about it. I've learned from other masters, and I literally will give you everything. You will be the tip of the spear when it comes to your marketing industry, your industry in real estate, and you will succeed both short-term and long-term with a marketing strategy. Your business and career will continue for many years by implementing any one of the tips that we go through Marketing Mastery. So I'm here for it. I hope you guys see me in class number 1.
Awesome. I love that, Greg. And listen, if we don't see you in Marketing Mastery just yet, just in a couple days, same place, same time, for those of you that are in leadership, whether you're a broker, owner, whether you've got, a revenue share tree or any sort of tribe or anything like that, this Thursday, I'm sitting down with Kathy Schweitzer, one of my first mentors, and we're talking about agent recruiting and retention strategies through a new value proposition. So things are changing, just as Greg pointed out how marketing is changing. The things that are exciting to real estate agents today, the things that cause agents to want to join a brokerage today and stay on a team today have changed. And so on Thursday, same place, same time, just go to gloveru.com/webinar to get registered for that. For anyone in leadership, or if you're not in leadership, share it with your leadership team and say, hey guys, this Glover U is doing some pretty cool stuff. This is for you. This is something they talked about. Go to your broker, go to your owner, go to your team leader and say, hey, you might want to check this out. gloveru.com/webinar, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're talking recruiting strategies and tactics through a new value proposition. And for the rest of you, we'll see you in Marketing Mastery. We'll see you at the Summit in Traverse City. All the information is contained in your workbook. Make sure you get that downloaded and printed off. The free resources, everything is in there. And don't forget, we got Ed Milet for $399 coming up this summer. Take advantage of that before that price goes up. That's the retreat, gloveru.com/retreat. All right, Greg, thanks for the good stuff. We will see you soon, my friend. Bye-bye.